It's finally time. I've been wanting to play this build since preseason. This is Seismic Shard. We're finally getting to make use of the Seismic Shift aspect because they removed the cooldown from it. And that combined with the new unique item, Shard of Verathiel, we're able to take this build from unplayable to potentially really good. Now I have no clue where the damage is going to land on this, but at very least, it's going to be something new, something fun, and it will definitely be strong enough to clear everything that you need to clear in order to upgrade your gear. We're talking pit 100 plus at least. Now, unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to test this on the PTR, so I don't have the ability to get any gameplay footage of it. But I'm going to put out an update video as soon as I get some footage from Season 5, as well as a chance to optimize and test the build. In the meantime, don't forget to subscribe. If you're interested in seeing all of my Druid builds, make sure you go to mobalytics.gg. There's a link directly to my profile underneath the video. So this is how the build works. The Seismic Shift aspect is what's going to allow our Earth Spike to change to a line attack. And the Shard of Verathiel is going to increase our damage by 200%, but at a spirit cost. We're going to counter that spirit cost by using the Mjolnir ring, and that's going to allow us to have unlimited spirit, and then Calm Before the Storm and Hectic are going to let us keep our ultimate up all the time. I need to actually get hands on because we might not even need Hectic because the lucky hit chance is pretty good on Earth Spike. And of course, we're going to scale with a lot of attack speed in this build. It should look something like this when we're done. So as we know, Earth Spikes is going to be our main source of damage. We're going to spam that like crazy. We're going to use Shred to close the gap between enemies so we can move around faster. This is also going to allow us to shapeshift to get a couple of extra bonuses, and it applies poison to enemies. We've got Blood Howl to activate our vigilance consistently. It's also a nice heal and an attack speed buff. We've got Earthen Bulwark to break CC. We've got Hurricane to reduce damage of enemies. And then of course Cataclysm is what's going to make enemies vulnerable, and it's also what's giving us the unlimited spirit with the Mjolnir ring. For our spirit boons, we're doing Wariness, Scythe Talons, Avian Wrath, Calamity, and Calm Before the Storm. Keep in mind that if you end up getting tempers that benefit your crit more, you can change this to swooping attacks to try and make up for the attack speed you didn't get. For our gear and aspects, we're doing Vasili's Prayer, Insatiable Fury, Pain Gorger's Gauntlets, Hectic, Wildheart Hunger, Shard of Verathiel, Aspect of Moonrise, Mjolnir Ring, Aspect of Adaptability, and Seismic Shift. Now for our stats, you want to click on the gear tab right here if you're on Mobalytics. And we don't actually have a lot of stats because we're using so many uniques. But make sure when you masterwork your uniques that you're trying to get the bonuses into stats that benefit us the most. Things like attack speed, critical strike chance, damage reduction, or maximum life are pretty good. Now for the things we do have stats on our pants, we're going to go max life, willpower, ranks to Earth Spike, maximum life, temper, and lucky hit chance to stun. Now obviously the most important thing here is the ranks to Earth Spike, because that's going to scale our damage. On our amulet, we're going to want Envenom, ranks to Defiance, attack speed, damage to crowd controlled enemies, that's going to scale our Earth and Devastation, and bonus to Digigrade Gate. Now we're actually getting 25% movement speed on our Mjolnir ring, and I think that actually scales up with masterworking, so it's possible that we don't need this mobility temper, and we could go with something defensive. On a ring that's available, we're going to do critical strike chance, attack speed, willpower, and Earth critical strike chance. For the other temper, it's going to be the Cataclysm cooldown reduction, but it's not available on Mobalytics right now. And then for our offhand, we're going to do critical strike chance, maximum life, willpower, chance for Earth Spike to cast twice, and damage to crowd controlled enemies to scale that Earth and Devastation more. This chance to cast Earth Spikes twice is very important for the build, so make sure you maximize this as much as possible. For gems, we're going to do Topaz, Ruby, and we might not even need the diamonds. There's a lot of new resists for Season 5. So if you don't need it, make sure you put armor here instead, which are the skulls. Forgot to talk about the pros and cons of this build, but it's extremely fast, solid DPS, very tanky. No uniques are required, but obviously they're good. And I think this will be a fun leveling build. And weaknesses, the AoE is a little bit thin, but the multiple casts of the spike can kind of help with that. They spread out a little bit. And it's a one-trick pony. You're going to be using Earth Spike for almost everything. But then again, that's kind of the story with Diablo. If you want to see an attack speed breakdown and where we're getting our different attack speeds from, you can come down here to this in-depth explanation. And I broke it all down for you, so it's really easy to understand. For a skill tree, we're going to max out our Earth Spike and get Wild Earth Spike. We're going to grab Shred and go to Primal Shred. We're going to max out Predatory Instinct. We're going to put 1 point in Earthen Bulwark and 1 point in Enhanced Earthen Bulwark. We're going to max out Vigilance, and we're going to put 1 point in Blood Howl, going to Preserving Blood Howl. Next up, we're going to max out Endless Tempest, put 1 point in Hurricane, and go to Savage Hurricane. Then we're going to max out Stone Guard, max out Envenom, put 1 point in Toxic Claws. That's just so that our Shred will poison enemies when we jump to them. We're going to put 3 points into Mending. We're going to max out Defiance, Natural Disaster, and Resonance. We're going to put 1 point in Cataclysm and both passives. We're going to max out our Quick Shift, and we're going to drop 1 point in Defensive Posture. Finally, for our Keystone passive, we're going with Bestial Rampage. Now, primarily here, we're just going to maintain our 50% damage buff, because it is the highest damage buff for the Keystone passives. However, it's okay for you to shred for the 2 seconds when you're jumping towards enemies, just to get the buff every 15 seconds, because 15 seconds is quite a while to only have to dedicate 2 seconds in order to get a 30% attack speed buff. For our Paragon boards, we're going to start with the Tectonic Glyph on our starter board. We're going to move up and put Constricting Tendrils, where we're going to get the Legendary node, and we're also going to get the Outmatch Glyph. Moving to the right, we're going to put the Earth and Devastation node, and we're also going to get Earth and Sky here. Moving to the right from here, we're going to attach the Survival Instincts board, we're going to get the Legendary node, and we're also going to get Territorial. Moving down from here, we're putting Inner Beast on here, and we're going to get Fang and Claw. To the left from here, we're going to be putting the Heightened Malice board, and we're going to put the Spirit Glyph here. And then back to the right, we're attaching Lust for Carnage, and we're just going to grab this one rare node to get us a little bit more attack speed. Here's what the overview looks like. Just to be clear, I'm not expecting this to be a meta build, but I do think it'll be a pretty good build. And mostly, I'm just really excited to play it. So if you're not too caught up on being the best, this is a great build to play. But who knows, maybe it'll surprise us. The next build I'm probably going to put out is Lightning Storm for Season 5, so make sure you stay tuned for that. And of course, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. But with that, I'll see you guys in my next video. I'm out of here. Bye.
Goodbye.